is Taliban official spokesman Suhail Shaheen. Mr. Shaheen, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
You made a promise. You rang in to the BBC on August the 15th, 2021, and you said this. I want to remind you of what you said.
They should not be scared. Their honor, their properties, their right to education, work, as we have commitment for that. So they should not have worries. Their work and access to education will be, I think, more in a better position than they were in the past.
So that was you talking about women in Afghanistan and schoolgirls, and you assured us that they would be in a better position than they were in the past. But in fact, they've now gone back to the position they were in when the Taliban was in charge before, which is a position of being oppressed. Why is that? And why did you lie about improving a lot of women in Afghanistan?
First of all, your judgment is based on distorted reports of media. Right now, 123,000 female students and teachers and government universities and private universities, they are either working or receiving education. Do you know about that? You don't know.
I do know. You asked me if I know the answer. Let me respond to you.
Just a moment, I complete.
Okay.
Have you mentioned that in your program about 4 million female students in primary schools? They are going to school.
Yes,
now.
If you
in
heard
Afghanistan.
All right, Mr. Shaheen,
yes,
let me jump in. Let me respond to you.
Let
me respond to you, please. Don't just keep talking. Right? Yes. It is true that some primary school girls are still going to school. It's after they get to teenage years. It's after they get to teenage years you have stopped them going to school. You don't want girls in Afghanistan to go through full-time education. That's not improving the welfare and lifestyle of women in Afghanistan. It's suppressing them. Why don't you let secondary school-age girls go back to school?
The secondary age school, primary school, there are 4 million girls are going to school. Now, the issue of secondary schools, education for girls, they are under consideration. We have never said they are banned.
When you say they're under consideration, what do you mean? They're not currently at school. Let them go back to school. Just say you can all go back to school.
That is why we are talking to work out a mechanism, and I hope
What's there to talk about, Mr. Shaheen? With respect, there's nothing to talk about. A girl should be entitled to go to school in Afghanistan the same way a boy goes to. You yourself said in August last year that they had nothing to worry about, nothing to be scared about. So if you've got nothing to worry about, let them go back to school. Give them the education that they were having. Give them the education that they deserve. Just do it. Stop telling them you're under consideration. What right have you got to consider their right to education?
I said the girls have the right to have access to education as boys. I am saying right now. That's why the mechanism being worked out to provide a conducive environment, because it is Islamic society. There is no question about their right to go to school. Only they will
no question. Again, let me jump in. Let me respond to that.
The uniform.
If I may respond to you.
And the female teachers.
If there is no problem about their right to an education, let them go back to school. Let me turn, if I may, to the issue of the now compulsory instruction for all women in Afghanistan to wear a full burqa if they go outside. In fact, there's an encouragement they don't leave their home, but if they do leave their home, they can only show their eyes. And if they get caught showing any more than their eyes, then the male guardians who've been appointed to basically enforce this face going to prison. This is unbelievably oppressive way to treat women in Afghanistan after 2 decades of experiencing a much freer society. Why are you doing this when, again, by your own words, you promised they had nothing to worry about?
the Afghan women, for centuries, they have been observing hijab. And they are wearing hijab voluntarily. So there is no additional burden on them. And there is, the statement doesn't say burqa is imposed or the only type of hijab. It says there are different types of hijab which are acceptable.
All right, so that's an important.
Burqa.
Okay, if what you're, well, hang on. If what you're saying is true.
A cloth of,
so just to be clear, every woman in Afghanistan right now can go out and does not have to wear the full burqa, and she will get no bad treatment from Taliban. Is that correct? They're all free not to wear the burqa. Yes. Is that your official position?
Yes, just, if they observe hijab, it may be a veil, it may be a piece of cloth, it may be a burqa, but the burqa is not the only type of hijab. It is clearly said. Any type of a piece of cloth, she covers herself, her body, that is a hijab.